Mhm.
Hi, everyone. This is Jackie Hull, and I am part of a teaching team for MatrixWorks. And I am here with Mukara, and we wanted to talk to you a little bit about the upcoming week of working with chaos through MatrixWorks and Hakomi.
Mhm.
So I thought I would start by asking Mukara, tell me a little bit about the revolutionary approach you've taken to working with chaos and why that is going to benefit.
All right. And I noticed, Jackie, that there are a lot of trees behind you, and I think I know you're in Mexico, right?
Yes.
Having a good time there, and even though I live in Boulder, I'm in Florida, so we're bringing a tropical flavor to this meeting. Well,
yeah.
The MatrixWorks approach to working with chaos is to really see it as an opportunity that, it can be destructive or it can be very creative. And if we can find the ways to work with it so that the creative urge or impulse more like the evolutionary urge can be sort of flirted with and brought forward, then new possibilities emerge. So it's been a journey for me to not freeze or panic but to really become comfortable to actually know that it has to happen for a relationship and for organizational health, really, to be available to us. We are going to have differences, but how do we have the differences become gifts rather than threats? And what I'm working with, at least at this time in my life, is that chaos is really an opportunity to have a direct experience of what it feels like to have a balance of autonomy. So I am unique, but I can belong together with you as a part of a teaching team. Mm-hmm. And that when we expand that to a whole group or to a whole community, there's such richness when that can be, when that can be the ground of what we're working with. Mm-hmm. And in my experience, and I think in your practice as well, that one of the things that helps develop these competencies is the practice of Hakomi, which is a part of what we bring into the class that we'll be doing. So I wonder if you could say a little bit about how you've experienced that as a part of this program.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do know that MatrixWorks has roots in the principles of Hakomi. Mindfulness, nonviolence, organicity, unity, mind-body holism. And did I leave anything out? I don't think I did.
I don't think so.
And, so that part of being in a MatrixWorks group is being very mindful. Mm-hmm. And you're mindful not only of your own self, which we spend time helping people really feel mindful about themselves in community, in group, how that feels. But you're also mindful about the energy of the group and the flow and who's included, who's not included, who's up, who's down. And so the mindfulness and the tracking are really deep parts of Hakomi that you've wonderfully transferred into group awareness and group dynamics. And the work itself, the way we teach Hakomi is really experiential, and the way we teach the group work is really experiential. And I love that we can teach all three parts of group life, the connection, the chaos, and then the consciousness is all experiential and not just theoretical.
Right.
So we really get to experience it in real life and be real about it.
Yeah.
And that I've really loved. I wanted to ask you about ways that you track for chaos.
Well, Yeah, that's a good question, because I think that I'm always tracking at three levels, and if I'm being conscious in the moment, uh,
Mhm.
and the first level is what kind of chaos is inside me, especially in a new group with a new a new field of people. How is that landing in me? Do I feel psychologically safe with this new group? So I'm looking into myself and really listening to that, and how's my body, how are my feelings, what kind of thoughts are happening, and I use that as a baseline. And then I'm tracking for what do I sense in terms of interpersonal conflict. Like there may be a person, that seems to challenge whatever I say or whatever you say or whatever somebody says. So there's a little edge there. There's a little bit of, I don't know, a kind of spark or something that could be a symptom of an interpersonal conflict. And then I think, and especially more and more for the United States, and this can be represented in a group, is what is happening at the collective level. So these three levels, I think, need to be a part of how we train in our tracking. And then how we respond to them will depend on, what is the theme, what is our contract, and what are we really able to accomplish in a class like we'll be doing in Portland. Does that give some
Yeah.
answer to you?
Yes, I think it's one of the things I want to highlight about this little interview is how when we track for chaos and we have a part of us watching, I noticed there's a little noise. Can you hear that noise?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. It's children having fun.
It's chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we can stay in our thinking mind longer than going into panic, and then panic, which makes us a little more limbic, which can make us, head for the hills or come out and fight. And the fact that I could see this happen in a group where we could be mindful about chaos and actually make a different choice was a revolutionary for me, because I felt safe in groups when they got chaotic. It just seems like they would just go to crazy town. So, so it's been a wonderful thing to watch for me personally. Groups make it through chaos, name it as chaos, and actually have some joy about what is wanting to emerge.
Yeah, I think the direct experience of being able to stay relational as we work with differences it's so liberating, and I think it deepens the sense of connection. So, if I think back over the history of all my relationships, those relationships that have been through chaos and come out on the other side of chaos, it's like I really trust them even more. I know when things hit the fan, we can get through it and find a deeper level of really trust and a deeper experience of psychological safety. The other thing I want to say, and then we'll try to wrap this up, is that I think that we will often experience that chaos happens in groups when there's a task to be accomplished. We're fine if we're sitting around, we're just appreciating each other, but then we have to get something done, and I want to do it my way and you want to do it your way. And actually being able to practice, giving a group a task to do and then helping people work through that is a great thing.
Yes, everybody gets to watch their little dynamic.
Right.
To go to, I'm left out, or I have to lead, or I'm the only one that knows. Everybody gets to watch that, but from a fun perspective this time, and there's humor this time. And,
I was just going to say that the other thing that we really I'm listing three things that we pay attention to. And that is, as we've alluded, how are the relationships and how do we build and really attend to relationships, and make that a part of the kind of organizational health that we're trying to cultivate. And then the final competency of group life in the field of chaos is how do you activate a culture that is oriented toward nourishment and well-being. And I think those are the three things we'll really be paying attention to in the class and really helping people build competencies. So the class is from the 31st of January to the 4th of February. And we'll both be there and inviting people to join us. We already have a number of participants, and I think it's going to be a great group, and hope that folks will find their way to us.
Yes, I really hope. Portland is such a great place to teach this, so I hope we have a full class.
It's a very avant-garde community. So thank you very much. And
thank you too.
Should we give a contact?
Katrina's contact, do you have that handy?
Yeah, I don't have it handy, but we'll make sure that it's available. So,
okay.
Okay.
Just put it on the screen.
Yeah, put it on the screen. Okay. Much love. Bye-bye.
Thank you.